Hey guys, welcome back to Creativerse. So today it is Thursday, May 1st, 2025. Now, we're going to be starting a project that's going to potentially take the next, 2 to 3 episodes, maybe even 4 if it takes long enough. But today, we're actually going to be starting a project. Something that I feel, first of all, it comes from my old world. It's actually the old treehouse that I actually had. Back in my old world, that of course is now, no longer a thing. So I actually just picked a spot right now. I had to find a place that was fully covered in trees. And this place right here happens to be the place that makes the most sense because as you might notice, it's fully covered in trees. So the good news is that I have a lot of items that we could use to climb up the tree and immediately get started with this project. Now, of course, we might not be able to recreate it exactly identical because, of course, this is a different world. Not to mention, the layout of the trees might be slightly different. But regardless, I think we'll still be able to pull it off in some form, right? Well, at least let's hope. Let's see what we can get ourselves into, because there might be a potential chance we might actually get this to work. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to start off with the first room that we ever made, specifically in the treehouse. And that was specifically a storage room, or at least that's what it was. And actually, good thing that I am collecting some wood, since we actually are going to need some wood for this. Thankfully, I can confirm that I grabbed stuff ahead of time. I came prepared for this project. I crafted so much before recording this. And you guys truly have no idea. It is unbelievable the amount of things that I did before I started recording this video. Oh boy! You guys should have seen it. It was crazy. I had to craft everything, and it took forever, man, to find all of them. But I promise you, I think this is going to be a good project. And the reason I know that this is going to be a good project is just because, I don't know, it's nice to have at least something in reference to the old treehouse. Even if, of course, it's no longer an actual thing outside of video footage. Which is why we may have to take a look at some video footage throughout this project. But I can assure you, this is going to go pretty well. At least I hope. The thing is, it might already be time to actually start checking footage. Now, thankfully, the good news is about this first room is that it is pretty tiny. So this actually shouldn't take that long. Now, see, since the treehouse was very, unstable, we won't be recreating all of that nonsense. We'll be creating it in a much more stable thing. So this might look slightly different from the original. But this was mainly all because this was built on top of a tree. That makes too much sense here. I should mention that as we go in. Just for the record, this is footage from episode 2. So I just looked at even more footage of the room, and thankfully, from what I can gather, this actually shouldn't even take that long at all, personally. And if I'm being personally honest, no, this is a joke. I literally looked at, I think it was back when I made the second storage area. It was that episode. And yeah. Basically, it was back when I made the second storage area back in October 2021. And I found, footage of this room. Which means I know exactly what it looks like. Which is beautiful. No, that's actually a good thing. Which means this, again, is a total joke. At least for me. What I should have probably done, though, was clear out some space. So we could just continue building as normal. And to be personally honest, that's probably what I'm going to do, actually. Now, see here, we are getting closer to the end of that tree. Thankfully, though, I'm building all of this inside a tree, so this doesn't really matter. In the meantime, I will go ahead and implement that here. Now, we'll implement the door where we, of course, have, obviously, the storage room. right here. So obviously we'll go ahead and implement these now. Now the problem is that I think most of this is made out of actual wood. Okay guys, I am back. I just did a lot of stuff off camera because I realized I had to like, you know, get a ton of wood to actually finish this section of the tree house. And if you guys remember, 1 second, I'll pull it up in a second. If you guys remember this specific, hold on, this episode right here, 85, where we made a second storage area. That was back, yeah, in 2021. And yeah, so the intention here is that I first of all pray that I do not fall. Oh, thank God. And then right here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this a window. The reason we do this is purposely because, well, this is how it looks back then. There we go. The room is done, and we get a nice little view in the background. How nice. And of course, in reference to the original, we are gonna go ahead and put some chests up here. Nice, right? Well, this room is done. Well, at least for the most part. Hold on, I gotta see if there's a torch up here. This room feels way too dark. Okay, so I may have gotten the placement of the ladder wrong. Oh, wow. So see, I knew this room had light. There we go. But yeah, I did some other things. Such as, a little storage area. But I can easily move the ladder if I wanted. Okay, so I ended up fixing it, and I think it looks good now. As you can see, look at this. Look at this. We have an official access way to the treehouse, which is great. So now that that's done after all this time, well, I think we're done here. Honestly, I think we did good to start off the treehouse. I added a little more wood here because I think I remember there being some here. But regardless, this is super cool, man. I think we did a great job recreating the entire treehouse. That was cool. That was a very nice little thing we did to like recreate the whole treehouse all over again, even though, you know, it's not the world anymore. But I loved to recreate that just because why not? So later on in the next episode, we're actually gonna do the next part of the treehouse, which I think is gonna be my room. And then we'll go from there. We'll see how things go. But until then, I hope you guys like our current progress so far. This is going to be a very fun little project for the next few episodes. I am very excited to continue making this. With all that said, I will see you all in the next episode on May 4th. See you then.